Good morning, everyone. Please, everyone hearing me? On and off line. At this time, we are ready to start, and we will start by the singing of the national anthem. For the singers. Eternal Father, bless our land, guide us with thy mighty hand, teach us truth, us, be our land, and bless us. You are leaders, great defender, and true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever. Take our land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love. Teach us true respect for all. Duty call. Lead us, lest we perish. Lo and greatly learn to wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love. Thank you. You may be seated. I'm going to ask Mr. Hibbert to come forward and do a prayer for us.
Let us pray. Dear Father and God, we are grateful for this day. Lord, we thank you for waking up us this morning and for giving us health and strength. Lord, we thank you for this day whereby we can meet like this to discuss the affairs of the credit union. Lord, we ask that you will grant us a successful meeting and that you will give us good thoughts and that all will be well. These things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you. And now we'll repeat the prayer of St. Francis of Assisi, which is on the screen. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Amen. Thank you. And at this time, Madam Secretary, could you please confirm if we have a quorum? Thank you. Meeting is now called to order at 20 minutes to 10. Am I right? Thank you. And at this time, I will ask, please, to have the suspension of the standing order.
Can we have a mover?
Can we have a mover, please?
Please raise your
And a second.
hand in the raise hand feature. Moved by Maureen Young, seconded by Shirley Hibbert.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. Please read the errata sheet. Make amendments for the 2020 report.
Good morning, everyone. I'll ask you to turn the pages of your annual report for 2019, and we'll make the following amendments. To page 4, under notice of meeting, amend the notice to remove 45th AGM and insert the words "as a hybrid meeting" after the word "held," and insert a comma, then 2021, following June 26. Also on page 4, on the agenda, remove item 11, resolution, and insert it after item 2, which is a call to order. Still on page 4, amend the words "rule amendment to allow for electronic voting" to read "rule amendment to allow for electronic meetings, comma, attendance, participation, and voting." Also on page 4, okay, on page 4, amend the words on the agenda. Amend the words "rule amendment to allow for electronic voting" to read "rule amendment to allow for electronic meetings, attendance, participation, and voting." Still on page 4, still on the agenda, insert after item 8, greetings, insert reading and confirmation of minutes of 43rd annual general meeting. On page 5, Board of Directors report. And there's a table with surplus and deficit. Delete the brackets from 2.51 under 2019. And delete the figure 106.40 under percentage growth, and instead insert 3.89 in brackets. So that's delete the figure 106.40 in brackets under percentage growth and insert 3.89. That's page 5, Board of Directors report. And we jump all the way to page 67. Page 67, on the proposal for fixing of maximum liability. In the first line, change 2019 to 2020. Page 68, on the nominating committee report. For the Board of Directors, where you have Doreen Kushney, change the 1 to 2 years. Under the Supervisory Committee, on page 69, remove the name Michelle Clark and replace with Mendis, M-E-N-D-I-S, Dennis Vincent. Page 75, under special resolution, delete the first paragraph. Page 75, under special resolution, delete the first paragraph. And those are the corrections. Thank you. Are there any other corrections? You can raise your hand with the raise hand feature for those of you who are online. To indicate if you have another correction, and we will take it.
Charmaine O'Reilly has raised her hand. Please indicate the correction. Can you unmute Charmaine? Or put it in the chat. Okay, go ahead. You unmuted a while ago, but you're back on mute. Okay, go ahead now. Go ahead with your correction, Charmaine O'Reilly. We're not hearing you, so type it in the chat.
Are there any other corrections other than from Mrs. O'Reilly?
Right, in the meantime.
Mhm.
No other corrections, Madam Secretary. Still waiting on Charmaine
once.
O'Reilly to type in the chat.
Is she typing? Oh. Are you able to see if she's typing? No.
Okay, we'll move
We'll
along
see.
and then
We'll move along and see if we can get back to Charmaine at some point, so we can get that correction. Thank you. If there are no other corrections. Going once. Going twice. And we've gone. Thank you so much. Okay, I will now read a special resolution from the NAJ and Health Services Cooperative Credit Union for proposed amendment to the credit union's rules. And bear with me, it's a little bit. So, but because of COVID-19, we have had to pivot, that's what they call it. So we have to make some amendments. So here goes. Whereas Section 11 and Regulations 41 of the Cooperative Societies Act and its attendant regulations respectively provides for the amendment of the Cooperative Societies rules. Whereas Article 22, Rule 79 allows for amendments to the rules of the NAJ and Health Services Cooperative Credit Union Limited. And whereas Article 7, Rule 32 is being proposed for amendments in the rules of the NAJ and Health Services Cooperative Credit Union Limited, and to allow the board to host electronic meetings. Whereas Article 9, Rule 43 is being proposed for amendments in the rules of the NAJ and Health Services Cooperative Credit Union Limited to allow the credit union to host electronic meetings. Whereas Article 10, Rule 49 is being proposed for amendments in the rules of the NAJ and Health Services Cooperative Credit Union Limited to allow the Supervisory Committee to host electronic meetings. Whereas Article 11, Rule 53 is being proposed for amendments in the rules of the NAJ and Health Services Cooperative Credit Union Limited. And whereas it is being proposed that meetings of members may be conducted by attendance at a physical location or by virtual only or by hybrid meeting. And whereas electronic attendance shall be construed as if the members were present at the physical location where the meeting is being convened. And whereas members attending meetings through electronic media shall constitute the quorum for a legally convened meeting of members of the society. And whereas the Cooperative Societies Amendment Regulations 2021 dealing with the holding of general meetings and meetings of the committee in cooperative societies were promulgated on the 15th of January, 2021. Whereas this credit union has agreed to adopt and accept all the interpretations so ascribed under the said regulations and intends that all amendments hereunder proposed are to be operational immediately and binding upon members, consequent upon approval at this general meeting of members and subject to the Registrar of Cooperative Societies' immediate certification. Be it resolved that Article 7, Rule 32, which reads, the Board of Directors shall meet as often as the business of the credit union may require, and in any case, not less frequently than once per month, be amended to include any meeting of the Board of Directors or any committee designated by the board may be held by telephone conference call or other communications equipment, including video conferencing technology. Each person entitled to participate in the meetings must consent to the meeting being held at that system. The system so employed must provide access to the meeting in a manner by which each person attending can be properly identified and heard. The system must facilitate the recording of any vote or other action taken at the meeting. For the purpose of determining the quorum and for all other voting purposes, attendance at such meetings shall constitute presence in the person at the meeting. For the purposes of this rule, the laws of Jamaica shall apply to any meeting of the board or subcommittees, and the meeting is deemed to take place in Jamaica. And be it resolved that Article 9, Rule 43, which reads, the credit committee shall of the credit union may require, and not less frequently than once per month. Due notice of such meetings shall be given to the other members of the committee by the secretary. This should be amended to include any meeting of the credit committee may be held by telephone conference call or other communications equipment, including video conferencing technology. Each person entitled to participate in the meetings must consent to the meeting being held of that system. The system so employed must provide access to the meeting in a manner by which each person attending can be properly identified and heard. The system must facilitate the recording of any vote or other action taken at the meeting. For the purpose of determining the quorum and for all other voting purposes, attendance at such meetings shall constitute presence in person at the meeting. For the purposes of this rule, the laws of Jamaica shall apply to any meeting of the credit committee, and the meeting is deemed to take place in Jamaica. And be it resolved that Article 10, Rule 49, which reads, the supervisory committee shall hold such meetings as the business of the credit union may require, and not less frequently than once per month. Due notice of such meetings shall be given to the other members of the committee by the secretary. This should be amended to include any meeting of the supervisory committee may be held by telephone conference call or other communications equipment, including video conferencing technology. Each person entitled to participate in the meetings must consent to the meeting being held of that system. The system so employed must provide access to the meeting in a manner by which each person attending can be properly identified and heard. The system must facilitate the recording of any vote or other action taken at the meeting. For the purpose of determining the quorum and for all other voting purposes, attendance at such meetings shall constitute presence in person at the meeting. For the purposes of this rule, the laws of Jamaica shall apply to any meeting of the Supervisory Committee, and the meeting is deemed to take place in Jamaica. Be it resolved that Article 11, Rule 53, which now reads, 1, the supreme authority in the credit union is vested in the general meeting of members at which every member has a right to attend and vote on all questions. And 2, the first general meeting of members after registration of the credit union shall be called the first annual general meeting and shall have the same powers as are herein given to the annual general meeting. Be amended to read by adding the following additional sentences after the current sentences. So we'll add a number 3. References to a meeting shall mean a meeting convened and held in a physical location only, or via virtual only, and or in a hybrid manner through a combination of both a physical and electronic communication system. Members shall be deemed to be present at that meeting for all purposes of the rules, applicable laws, and cooperative societies or amendments regulations 2021, and said attendance shall be construed to allow the member present in any one of these fora to attend and fully participate in any such meetings. 4, a member's participation in the business of a general meeting shall include, without limitation, the right to communicate, to vote, and to have access in hard copy or electronic form all documents which are required to participate in the business of a general meeting. And participation in such a meeting shall constitute presence in person at such meeting and shall count towards the quorum and for all other voting processes. 5, the failure or inability of a member to attend or remain in an annual or special general meeting held in a hybrid or virtual only meeting as a result of a mistake or events beyond the control of NAJ and Health Services Credit Union Limited shall not constitute a defect in the calling of the annual or special general meeting and shall not invalidate any resolutions passed or proceedings taken at that annual or special general meeting. 6, references to electronic communication system shall include, without limitation, webcast, video, or any form of conference call systems to include telephone, video, web, or otherwise, and other communication of any sound, document, and or other data. 7, if a separate meeting place is linked to the main place of a general meeting by an electronic communication system, such member present at the separate meeting place shall be taken to be present at the general meeting and entitled to exercise all rights as if the member were present at the main physical location. 8, all general meetings, including a special or annual general meeting, any adjourned meeting or postponed meeting, may be held as a physical, virtual only, or hybrid meeting. 9, a virtual only or hybrid meeting may be held in Jamaica and any part of the world and at one or more locations as may be determined by the Board of Directors in its absolute discretion. However, the principal place and time of such meeting shall be construed to be held in the jurisdiction of Jamaica. 10, votes, whether by a show of hands or ballot or by way of a poll, may be cast through or by electronic means or otherwise, in keeping with the Cooperative Societies Amendments / Regulations 2021. 11, if voting is to take place at the meeting, There must be reasonable measures in place to verify that every person voting at the meeting by means of electronic communication system is sufficiently identified, and the secretary shall keep a record of any vote or action taken. 12. The provision of these rules shall apply with any necessary modification to hybrid meetings and virtual only meetings. So be it resolved that Article 11, Rule 57, which now reads, at least 7 days before the date of any annual or special general meeting, the secretary shall post a notice of the meeting in a conspicuous place in the office and cause written notice thereof to be handed to each member in person or mailed to each member at his address as the same appears in the records at the credit union. That should be amended to read 1. At least 7 days before the date of any annual or special general meeting, the secretary shall post a notice of the meeting in a conspicuous place in the head office and each branch office of the society, and cause appropriate notice to appear in one daily newspaper and or cause written notice to be handed to each member in person or mailed to each member at his address as the same appears on the records of the society. Such notice may also be communicated to each member via any available electronic medium provided by the member to the society. 2, where an annual or special general meeting is either virtual only or hybrid meeting, the secretary shall cause the notice of the meeting apologize for that break in transmission. So I'll continue with item number 2 of the amendment, where an annual or special general meeting is either virtual only or hybrid meeting, the secretary shall cause the notice of the meeting to provide instructions for attendance and participation, including voting by members electronically and an electronic link for attendees. Article 11, Rule 59 will be renumbered as 59.1, which reads, if at the expiration of a reasonable period after the date fixed for any annual or special general meeting, the members present are not sufficient to form a quorum, such meeting shall be considered as dissolved if convened on the demand of members. In all other cases, an adjournment may be taken to a date not fewer than 14 days thereafter. The same notice shall be given for the adjourned meeting as is prescribed in Rule 57 for the original meeting. New rule Article 11, Rule 59.2 will be inserted to read, where the meeting is held as a hybrid meeting or virtual only meeting, and during the meeting, a number of members participating virtually cease to be able to participate in the meeting at any time and for any period during the meeting in such numbers that the quorum requirement for that meeting is not met, all business transacted at that meeting, including matters put to the vote and any resolution passed, shall be void. Be it resolved that Article 22, Rule 79, amendments to rules, which now reads, these rules may be amended by a resolution of the members of the annual general meeting or special general meeting called for the purpose by 3/4 votes of those present and entitled to vote, provided a copy of the proposed amendments together with a written notice of the meeting shall have been sent to each member or handed to him in person at least 7 days before the said meeting. No amendment shall become operative until it has been approved by the registrar in accordance with the Act. This should be amended to read, These rules may be amended by a resolution of the members of the annual general meeting or special general meeting called in accordance with Article 11, Rule 53, number 0.2, for the purposes by at least 3/4 of the members present, either physically, virtual only, or at a hybrid meeting, provided a copy of the proposed amendments, together with a written notice of the meeting, shall have been sent to each member by electronic means and printed in one daily newspaper at least 7 days before the said meeting. No amendment shall become operative until it has been approved by the registrar in accordance with the Act. Here ends the reading of the proposed amendment to the credit union rules.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. We are going to now launch the poll, fellow cooperators. So you're going to have the poll regarding this resolution. It's important. We must have 75% of the persons present and voting. All right, so you want to, any questions from the members regarding the resolution? So the member from the Department of Cooperatives and Friendly Societies will take us through in terms of questions and the voting process.
Good morning, NAJ members and visitors and friends. Okay, so we continue with the process of the resolution amendment to the rules. And okay, we continue with the process of passing the resolution in regards to the amendment to the rules. So you have heard the resolution read by the secretary. Now we're going to be asking for questions. If you have any questions in relation to the resolution or any comments, you may state your questions now.
Okay, we have Iona White Lawson has raised her hand. Do you want to put it in the chat, Iona, or will you unmute and speak?
Hello.
Yes, we're hearing you.
Good morning. My concern is because of COVID-19, the pandemic, that's why we need to do most of this resolution or have this resolution passed. Do we have to say why it is that we, as a preamble to the resolution, do we have to say why it is that we need to do all of this? Are you understanding?
Well, in relation to the amendment to the rule, the fact is that cooperative societies were not allowed to have virtual and hybrid meeting before. The regulations was passed on January 2021 to include to allow credit unions and other cooperatives to hold their meeting virtually and hybrid. But before that can be done, the credit union needs to amend their rules to include having virtual and hybrid meetings. You were only allowed to have these meetings in person before. That answers your question or your comments? Ms. Iona?
Are you hearing me?
Yes,
Are you hearing me?
We're hearing you now.
Okay, I'm still saying there is a reason why we need to do this. So I'm saying, do we need to have that on record to say why it is it is because of the pandemic. So, those who are coming later on will know that is why we had to change from what is considered norm to this new norm.
No, that's not necessary to state because it's because of the pandemic.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other question or comment? Okay, there be no other question or comment. We will move to the, we ask for the motion to be moved to accept the resolution. So we are going to be asking for a mover and a seconder to accept the resolution. Could you state your name clearly because we, is there a seconder? State your name, please. Thank you, Mr. Fagan. So because we have online persons and we have in-person persons, we're going to ask for the persons who are voting online or to raise their hands, or are we using the poll or? Okay, so a poll is being provided and you're going to indicate your acceptance by answering the poll, and those in person, we are going to ask for a raise of hand to confirm and to accept the motion. Yes. So the poll, is the poll up? So how many, can I get the numbers for the poll? 95 for? It's not yet finished. As soon as it is finished, you can just indicate what the numbers are. We give only 2 minutes to do that. And how many minutes we have gone? The 2 minutes is up. So can I get the numbers now?
If 4 persons voted for, it is 95%, 2 against and 2 abstained. So 95% have voted for.
So the motion has been carried. And now we're going to move it to the voting process. And for the resolution to pass, we need for the motion to pass, we need 75% of the members to vote for, and for the motion to be passed. No, that is for the accepting of the resolution. So we are now moving to pass the resolution now. The acceptance in terms of the move on the second and all in favor. That was what we were doing before. Now we're going to move to pass the resolution now. So we need 75% of the members to pass the resolution. So persons online can take the poll again, and the members in person can give me a raise of hand for the passing of the resolution. So we have how many persons? Let us confirm. We need to confirm the amount of persons that are present online. I need the numbers as it is now. How many persons that are online? 155. And how many persons? 157? We need to come to a neutral number. 155 persons online. And how many persons we have here? 1, 2, 13? 13 persons in person. So we are now going to vote now. So we need 75% of 160. 75% of 168 persons. It is 126. So we need 126 persons to pass the resolution. So the persons in house now, can I see a raise of hands of who are in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 persons. So it's 14 persons in person. So 14 persons for in person.
Vote by the poll. Those persons who are raising hands, please vote via the poll. Those online.
The persons online, you need to take the poll. We're not using the raise of hand features in this case.
At the bottom of your screen, you will see polls. The poll should have come up on your screen. Are you having challenges seeing the poll? Nadine and Beverly, please. Oh, some persons are not seeing the poll. Okay, so we will go with the raise hand for those. So we have 6. So we have 36 raising their hands, 37 who are unable to get to the poll, and 89 who have used the poll. So 126 I voted for.
Okay, we have 1 minute to go.
On 27-4. So can we move along now?
Okay, so the numbers are now, we have how many voting online?
127-4.
127, and we needed 126. So the in-persons are different. So so the motion is carried. So it's 126 virtually and 14 in person. Makes the numbers 140 voting for. Now we're going to move to the persons who are voting against. Can I get the numbers? The persons in, well, nobody here. 3 persons vote against. And how many abstain? 4 persons abstain. 4 and none in. So the numbers are, let us confirm. So we have 140 persons voting for 126 virtually and 14 in person. We have 3 persons voting against. The 3 persons are virtually, zero in person. And we have 4 persons abstaining virtually and none in person. So this is a resolution. It has been passed successfully. Congratulations. So I'll hand over now to the president who will continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, madam. It was very well done. I hope that in all things, if we could be so professional and so forth in other meetings to do this kind of voting situation, we would do very well. Thanks again for that. At this time, we just call for the resumption of the meeting with someone to move.
And we have a mover by show of hands.
Thank you.
Have to say your name.
Name first. No.
So moved by who?
Move. So we can see them. Okay.
We're using 2 persons internally now. What's your name, sir? And seconded by
Seconded by Mr.
Derek
Toller.
Toller.
Thank you very much for that. Who moved? Who was the first person? Who was the mover? Thank you. Mr. Toller, Derek Toller. Aye. Okay, at this time, I'm going to ask the secretary to read the notice of the 44th AGM.
Notice of annual general meeting. Notice is hereby given that the 44th annual general meeting of the NAJ and Health Services Cooperative Credit Union Limited will be held as a hybrid meeting on Saturday, June 26, 2021, beginning at 9:30 a.m. at the Jamaica Cooperative Credit Union League, 2A Manhattan Road, Kingston 5, and on Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. At this time, let us observe a minute of silence for members who died since the last AGM. Please stand. May their souls rest in peace and light perpetually shine on them. Thank you. Let me welcome all of us here sitting in house and all those persons online to this meeting. I must say that I'm particularly pleased because having this hybrid meeting means that persons were almost on time and ready for the meeting at almost 9:30. And I must congratulate you for that. Please don't think that for all the years to come, it will be quite like this. But then it shows us now that we can in fact be on time, because I remember the last AGM we were sitting waiting on the quorum. It is my pleasure to have you all here today and to have you all online. I'm sorry I'm not able to see the persons online, but I imagine that you're all nicely dressed like the persons who are sitting in house. Yes, it's really a pleasure. We have had an interesting year, thanks to COVID, but it has taught us many things, that indeed we can do all things through Christ. We hope not to keep you very long today. I know that today is Saturday and many persons have many things to do and there is on curfew on. So we hope that we don't keep you here any longer than about 12:30. The longest part is over. At this time, could we have apologies for absence? Any apologies for absence? Those online, any apologies for absence? Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Are there any members celebrating birthdays in May and June? Please show your hands. In May, yes. And in June? No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Anybody online who's celebrating birthdays in May and June, not July?
Sophia Reed Matthews,
Wonderful.
Sandra Green.
So should we sing happy birthday to those persons? Yes, of course. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to all of you. No, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to all of you. Happy birthday. For the persons in July, we'll come and sing again.
Sandra and Ainsworth Jones, Sandra Marshall, they also, and Myrtle Taylor also raised their hands.
Wonderful. We'd like to introduce the board of directors, committee, and management and staff to this our board meeting, to this our AGM. We thank you all. Have a list of them. We thank you all working so hard for the past year. So for your board of directors, yours truly, Janet Farr, President, Dr. Robert Hibbert, Vice President, Mr. Derek Toller, our able treasurer, Charmaine O'Reilly, who I believe is online, Doreen Kushney, our secretary, Dr. Hilary Jones, Assistant Secretary, Dr. Audrey McNabb, Director, Mr. Derek Graham, who is in-house, and Ms. Claudia Wallen, Director. And we thank you so much for your service. For the committees, we have so far members of the Credit Committee, novelette authors, Camille Williams, I believe those are online, Dion Murphy, and Blondell Walker. Okay. Dion Murphy, yes. Camille Walker. Sorry. Thank you. Constant Robert Perkins. Novelette authors. Camille Walker. Walker Williams and Dion Murphy Nedrick. Camille Williams, sorry for that. And Maureen Young Sewell. All right, those are they? Okay. Yes, please. The supervisory committee. Okay. Blondell Walker. Okay, supervisory committee, Barrington Hibbert, Berita Thomas, Sarika Brandon Betty. And that's it. Thank you very much. And thank you so much for working so hard for our credit union.
Madam President, Trevor and Lillian MacDonald, 23rd wedding anniversary on the 13th of June.
23rd. Please congratulate them for me because she has another 23 years to go. It's just hard. Thank you. At this time, we would like to welcome Nurses Association of Jamaica, Department of Cooperatives, the Credit Union League, Bogle and Company, who are our auditors, Kuna Caribbean, our recording secretary, our photographer, and the technical team. We thank you very much for being a part of our credit union and really a very valuable part. At this time, we will have greetings from the Credit Union League, from Kuna Caribbean, and from the Nurses Association of Jamaica.
Morning, fellow cooperators, online and in person. On behalf of the Jamaica Cooperative Credit Union League and the credit union movement on a whole, I really want to thank the nurses and the medical fraternity for the commitment and the perseverance and sacrifice in 2020 and even now during this pandemic. And we want to also congratulate the credit union for being there for you so that you could be there for us as a country. And so we know it was a difficult year in terms of persons who would have challenges repaying their loans and so on, but we will rise again in 2021. And so we want to thank you. We want to encourage you to continue to work hard for your members as a credit union, and you're a valuable part of the movement. So we wish you a successful AGM.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Georgia Morrison, and I'm the Assistant Vice President for Sales at Kuna Caribbean Insurance, Jamaica Limited. It is my distinct pleasure and honor to be present at your annual general meeting this morning, and I would like to use this opportunity to congratulate you on all the years of service to the health sector. NAJ is a very special credit union. Serving the health sector, it has been a very challenging time for the health sector, in terms of the COVID-19 pandemic. And I know that our healthcare workers are very appreciative of the services and the products being offered by the NAJ Credit Union. At Kuna Caribbean Insurance, it has been our pleasure to provide our insurance solutions to this August body. And we know that a number of your members have benefited from our product offering, especially the Family Indemnity Plan. So we want to continue to work with you to provide these solutions to your members, and we look forward to growing and deepening our relationship. Thanks again for having me at your annual general meeting, and I know you will have a successful meeting. And on behalf of Kuna Caribbean, we want to wish you all the best and God's richest blessings for this year and for the years to come. Thank you so much.
Madam Chairperson of the Board of Directors, members, the CEO, Dr. Markey, staff, fellow cooperators, the specially invited guests from the League, the Department of Friendly Societies, CUNA Mutual, all, good morning. The pleasure is mine to greet you warmly from the Nurses Association of Jamaica. Today is a momentous day in the history of our credit union. For the first time, we are meeting and we're not all sitting together. It is usually a time where we share hugs and we greet and we network those who we have not seen for quite a long time. And I'm seeing a lot of persons online, and I realize that we have persons from overseas online. So it's quite momentous for us to be here today. The year has been a challenging one. We don't need to get into it because we, as healthcare workers, as nurses, as different workers in the different sectors of the health system, have undergone the stress and the challenges of the pandemic. But we have had our challenges, but we've also had some victories. So as we host our meeting today, I congratulate my credit union on standing firm and standing out and keeping our members safe, keeping the monies of our members safe. I know that you have developed strategies to stay afloat and to keep members satisfied. And I look in the history book and realize that as of November last year, there are now only 25 credit unions remaining in Jamaica. And over the last 10 years, we know that we've had the challenges with the mergers and the closing of a number of our credit unions, but we have stood strong. And while we opened our bond, we were still and are still an independent entity. And I want those sitting here and those online to just give us a round of applause. So congratulations to the staff and the board of directors for your innovative and creative strategies. The pandemic forced us to postpone our meeting last year, but thankfully, the new norm has given us this opportunity. I wish for us a successful and productive day. Thank you.
Thank you for that to all those persons who gave greetings, but I sincerely hope you will forgive me. And I made a very serious error where I did not welcome my invited guest. Yes, that's a breach, and that is something, I don't know if it's because it's a hybrid meeting, I'm not sure, but I try to make an excuse, but there's no excuse for that. So I must welcome Thomas Wint from Bogle and Company. Oh, wonderful. And you're such a handsome gentleman. Oh, no. Good thing you took down the mask. Is Mr. Errol Gallimore here or online? No, but welcome anyway. He might be online. Tanisha Facey, Director of Inspectorates from DCFS. Thank you. Where are you, ma'am? Oh, nice. Cheryl Brown, Acting Regional Manager Oh, of course, and she did such an excellent job. How could I not welcome you? Robin Levy, not here in person, the CEO from J. Cool. Georgia Morrison, Assistant VP Sales for Kuna Caribbean. I'll tell you, I want to be like her the next time I come around. And Patsy Edwards Henry, or our NAJ president, who came and did so well. Vera Lindo. Vera, you must write me off if I never listen to me. And we have become such good friends. Melanie Campbell, Member Services Officer. She's online. Wonderful. Welcome. Our videographer. Videographer 1, I didn't know you had videographers 1, 2, and 3, and 4. But videographer 1 was Stephen York. Is Stephen here? Oh man, beautiful. Listen to me, I can't manage, you know. And videographer 2 is his twin. I don't know if anywhere has something like this. He's his twin, Stephen York. Resolve it, doing right, and we work. Almanda Scott. Almanda Cox. Okay, Mr. Cox. And you worked so well last night. I know you would write me off. Okay, Dwayne is not here, resolve it, but he was here last night. Yvonne Bernard, recording secretary. Thank you so much. And Philip Bolai, photographer. I saw him taking pictures. Of course, naturally. Treston Thompson and Nicola Scott. Treston, where is he? The auditors, are they here? Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, the auditors. So you'll forgive me now, right? Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Lord. I can go to church in the morning and feel good. Okay, so at this time now, we will take the minutes of the 43rd meeting. Madam Secretary.
All right, here I am again. And this time, we will, as you will all remember, we had to adjourn our meeting last time because we did not have a quorum. And so today we have to go back to those minutes of the 43rd AGM. And I'm going to ask that the motion for the minutes to be taken as read, because they have been in your possession for over a year. So I am assuming if you read one page a day, you would have completed reading the minutes several times over. So I am asking that we take the minutes as being read. And are there any corrections? And again, we'll ask for you to use the raise hand feature for those of you on Zoom, and for those here present to just raise your hand to indicate if you have a corrections. And the minutes you will find in your booklet from page 6 to page 13.
Okay,
right.
so a mover and a seconder, please raise your hand for the minutes to be taken as read. Moved by Shirley Hibbert, seconded by Nadine Anderson Lawrence.
Thank you, Lady Hibbert and Lawrence. Those all in favor? Any against? Those against? Any abstaining? None. So all in favor. There. Thank you. All right, so we now move to the corrections. I ask that you again use the raise hand feature as I indicated for those on Zoom. Are there any corrections to page 6? So I'll quickly just go page by page, and there's a hand. Mrs. Edwards Henry, go ahead. Okay. On page 6, under the heading birthdays, The last sentence, happy birth was sung, should be happy birthday was sung to them. Thank you. That's page 6. Any corrections? Any other corrections on 6? If not, we move to page. Anybody online, Ms. Lindo? No?
No corrections online.
Page 7, quickly. Any corrections to page 7? No in-house, none online. Wonderful. Moving to page 8. Any corrections on page 8? Page 9. Still no show of hands. All right, means we did a good job. Page 10. Any corrections to page 10? Page 11. Page 12. Is there a, did I hear a? Which page are we? Page 12. Where is the name? Where's the? Okay, she has what? All right, so under credit committee on page 12, second paragraph, Miss Novlet Robinson, Novlet should be spelled with 2 L's. Thank you, Mrs. Edwards Henry. And finally, Lucky, page 13. Any corrections on page 13? Did I see your hand, Constance? All right, let's finish with page 13. Any corrections on page 13? All right, if not, we'll just take one more call for any other corrections. We're going back to page 9. Sorry, you said page 9, no, I'm hearing 10. Uh-huh. Yes. And she is Miss. Okay, so page 9, under corrections, we are correcting the corrections. Okay, the second bullet, it's Miss Novlet, how you spell the authors? ARTHURS, okay? So there's a missing R after that A, and it is Miss. So we'll again have that correction noted somewhere. Thank you so much. All right, if there are no other corrections of the minutes, I hereby ask for the minutes to be confirmed as corrected. Back to you, Ms.
Moved by
Vera.
Maureen Young Sewell.
And that Maureen Young Sewell is confirming, and some seconded. And in-house, we have Constance Roberts Perkins. Thank you so much. I now turn back over to our board president.
Thank you very much for that. At this time, we'll have the Board of Directors reports. Board Director report for 2019. For 2019, matters arising. Pardon me? Yes. Any matters arising from the minutes for 2019? In-house? On the, none on the tab? No matters arising? Pardon me? Thank you. I can move on now to the director's report for 2019. Thank you. The director's report for 2019. You can find that director's report in your magazine. 2019 on page 14. And we will go through it quickly. Can we have it up on the screen, please? Or can I just go through it? Do we have it up? Yes. Should be taken as read. It's from last year. But can we have the motion? Yeah, they're separate. We can? Okay, fine. So could we put up 2020's report? They're not far different, but when we had the COVID in between, I'll just go through 2019 quickly. That's overview for 2020. Let me just back up a little. 2019 report, we did have some challenges, but the board of directors and management worked extremely hard to maintain the credit union. And we had a strategic focus, which we maintained to make surplus and provide relevant goods and services for your benefit. All of which achieved through careful financial navigation and proactive action. The credit union continued to show growth in key performance areas, and some of those performance areas looked at member shares, which was the growth was at 6.4%, permanent shares at 50%, member deposit at 6.9%, loan provisions was 16.67%, and total assets 4.58. Institutional capital remained zero between 2018 and 2019, and the surplus was minus 96.58. We had some membership growth between 2019 and 2018. It was 2019 we had 189, and 2020 we had 153, which was an increase in 36 new members. The portfolio, bringing the portfolio to 4,894 compared with 4,703 for 2018. We owe the increase in membership to some of our dedicated staff, extremely dedicated to the credit union. No, that's 2018. That's 2019, yes. So I'm just going through that very quickly. We had future leaders, we had service delivery. Credit union continues to provide exceptional services to our valuable members, and you did not have to visit the credit union when you needed to withdraw funds. You could do this otherwise. The service, as we had the online banking. We provide health service insurance coverage via Sagicor insurance, as well as continue to pay your insurance premiums, mortgages, and other payments through standing order agreement. And that worked well for 2019. The credit union also continues to partner with following organizations to ensure that you have the right saving plan, death benefit, and critical illness plan as follows. And I think that is a wonderful idea. Kuna Caribbean Family Indemnity Plan, the FIP Critical Illness Plan, and the Golden Harvest Savings Plan. The credit union ensure that your savings and loans are protected by Kuna Caribbean Life Saving and Life Protect Plan. The JA Cooperative Insurance Agency Group and Creditors Life Insurance. And that basically was our 2019 report. And I would prefer to go now into the 20. Is there anything I'm forgetting that we could go into the 2020 report? The overview for 2020. We are now celebrating our 40th. Very pleased to say that we're celebrating our 45th year, and we are grateful to be surviving COVID pandemic. And I need not go into COVID pandemic, because that was quite a devastation, or it is still. Yes, we, the board, management, staff, and volunteers, continue to celebrate our hard-working professionals. And let me tell you, this is when we saw the healthcare workers at their best. We certainly realize that without you, we could not have been, this would not have been possible, as you utilize products and services available to you and those who you helped to advertise. The credit union was not closed, it remained open. And so persons who in health were kind of very happy for that, because you had somewhere to rock on. The 2020 year, many persons found it particularly challenging, as there were massive job losses out in general. We didn't have massive job losses in healthcare. We had none, in fact. And we are short, and we are still short. Fortunately, the health services remained a priority in our society. So our medical professionals were able to keep working and continue to seek financial assistance from the credit union. And so this is where our credit union, we could really rock on. We continue to carefully navigate the financial landscape. Growth performance. The growth in the credit union depicts a resemblance of the financial climate, which has been impacted severely by the effects of COVID-19 pandemic, both locally and globally. Despite the odds, we still showed signs of growth in key areas. However, it will take some time to realize a more sustained growth, given the different variables encountered from time to time. Membership growth, we had 169 new members were accepted into the membership. And this was a decrease from 20 members over 2019 figure of 189. The total portfolio now stands at 5,062, compared with 4,894 in 2019. Efforts continue to entice all medical professionals across the island to understand that the credit union was designed in mind to suit every need. We had our future leaders. We didn't have a lot, but we certainly laud those persons who encourage children to put money in the credit union. They need to start from now. So the children, we had number of future leaders account opened in the year under review were 19 compared to the previous year, which was 21. And now that children are almost out of school, this is the time to encourage them to save. And decrease of 3. Nevertheless, we are grateful that parents saw it fit for them to save with the credit union, so we cannot try and double on that. The key operating performance, members' share went up by 5.87. We had 334.44, and we had 354.08 in 2020. Permanent shares went up by 2.7%. Members' deposit went up by 22.51%. Loans originated 11.67%. Total assets was 9.24. Institutional capital remained flat, 0.03. And the surplus deficit was 3.89. Thank you. Next slide, please. That's it. Stop. Okay, our obituaries. We did pay respects to our families. We lost quite a number of persons in that period because of COVID. COVID sat on us for a long time. Condolences were extended to them. Service delivery. Despite the COVID-19 restrictions, which caused many businesses to close their doors, the credit union stood firm. They stood firm, like Madam President, they stood firm because they realized that deliverance was here. The board of directors recognized that during this pandemic period, members are finding it hard to sustain their families and themselves. So interest rate on loans were reduced to facilitate them, and special loans were offered, and persons took them up. Meeting attendance. We had 4 meetings that were not held due to COVID. However, overall, persons came to meetings. The League AGM, the Credit Union League, annual general meeting was held as a hybrid meeting today, October the 4th. The meeting was held with a limited number of persons at the Knutsford Court Hotel, while the majority was online. I attended in person at the Knutsford Court, while Mr. Derek Toller and Dr. Desiree Markey, Desiree Markey, they were on Zoom. I noticed that this Zoom thing now is encouraging persons to go on Zoom. No, it is really, oh yes, I attended the meeting, but I was on Zoom. It has now become, I don't know if this is going to be the standard operating procedure, but we're all on Zoom, Zooming away. I can't come to meeting today because I'm on a Zoom meeting. Yes. How many persons have said that? Speak the truth, I hear laughing in the house. Yes, I'm sorry I can't get in today because I'm going to be on Zoom. Our outreach program, we still managed to do outreach. Although the credit union had to tighten its spending during the pandemic period, the board of directors believe it is corporate social responsibility, and therefore following institutions and individuals were assisted. The NAJ AGM and Island Conference, the Jamaica Cooperatives Credit Union League, Telethon Jamaica, Together We Stand, retired nurses of the Nurses Association of Jamaica, the St. Andrew Justices of the Peace, and Elsada Dobson was an individual person who were looked after. Now the way forward, we must have a way forward. And I don't want us to think that COVID as a pandemic is going to stop us from going forward. As a matter of fact, it must encourage us to move forward. The overall strategic direction of the credit union is growth by market penetration, as our bond caters to all health professionals, including the clerical and non-clerical worker and all family members. I'm hoping that for the year coming, that we're going to be moving in that direction. The focus will be on members centricity, affordable loan products, and creative savings, and we can do it. The board is committed to ensure that the strategic initiatives of the credit union remains viable and is this unpredictable environment which emphasis for stronger capital adequacy and pending Bank of Jamaica Credit Union regulations. So don't let anything stop you from us getting there. I would like to, before I close, however, before I go into appreciations, to introduce our staff. Or you can do it later. Yes, okay, thank you. The appreciation, we must appreciate our persons who are around us. Despite the difficulties we faced in 2020 during COVID-19 and all the challenges it brought to us, the dedicated staff of the credit union were determined to make it successful. And let me tell you, they worked very hard. COVID-19 brought out resilience, hard work, dedication. We must always reevaluate and look for ways to improvement. And Dr. Markey was always motivating her staff and making sure there's no mediocrity despite what is happening, as one must always strive for excellence. Sincere thanks to those board members who could always be called on to assist. And I must say, Mr. Derek Graham, one of our directors, he was there until sometimes I said, Lord, poor Derek, you don't have no wife. Sorry, I had to bring that up. Thanks to you all board members who were committed to serve and your dedicated service. Thanks to the staff for working beyond the call of duty. I can hear Mr. Derek Tullers talking from him open the mouth now. I said, yes, because when him coming, you know he's there. Am I right? Oh yes, yep, Mr. Tuller, you can stay there and laugh. I'm talking the truth, sir. Thanks also to the Credit Union League and all other credit unions who supported our facility. When I saw how Ms. Vera sit down here with us last night, I said, Lord, but Derek, they said, but wait, Vera work with us too. You know? But I'm very happy for that. And I'm happy for all of the others who have worked. We really appreciate your kind assistance. You know, it was Maya Angelou who once said, lift up your hearts. Each new hour holds new chances for new beginnings. And I'm looking forward to that in the coming year. Thank you. I must introduce our staff, Dr. Markey. What poor thing. Lord, you know, she really work hard. And I don't like when she's harassed. So if there's anybody who in here who is guilty of harassing her, please speak now. Mr. Wallace, accounting manager. Renee Collins, marketing manager. Donna Brown, cashier. And don't worry, if you have money for Donna, go give her. But she's in the business of making the money for the credit union, collecting it. Ashani Thomas, marketing officer. What, Mr. Ashani, I couldn't believe it's you this morning, you know, because the Ashani when we see last night is not the one we see this morning. And especially that tattoo, sir, I need a copy of it. Okay. Gary Fisher, accounting officer. Where is Gary? Oh, he's online. Tell him morning for me. Anna K. Gray, admin assistant. And Anna just coming about poor Anna should go on good. She waving. Lord Anna, I'm glad to see you. Tasha Strawn, member service rep. Tyree Sterling, delinquency officer. I don't want to be delinquent in that credit union. No. And Miss Austin, an office assistant. I don't know what she said about me this morning, and she come and ask me if me all right. Me did look not all right to you, Miss Austin. No, I thank you for that, you know, because it's not very many persons who look and you ask you if you're all right. I thank you so much. Thank you all. I hope I'm not up here to give jokes and entertain. This is not an entertainment meeting. So from the board, is there anything that you wish to ask? Any questions that you wish to ask before I move a motion for the report? To move adoption of the board reports?
Any questions
Any
online?
questions online?
Well, there's a correction from Iona saying line 6, appreciation, page 7.
Yes.
It should be must and not much.
Much. Okay, thank you, Sam. Thank you for that.
Line
Means that
6.
you're reading the minutes. Any other corrections? Oh, so pardon me? No, you don't have any. Pat? Yes, madam. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Corrections, attendance at board meetings. I think that 2 should not be beside my name for excuse for Doreen Pushney.
Okay.
The 4 were not held, I attended 8, so there was,
Thank you for
it
that.
should not be that 2.
So at this time, could we move a motion for the adoption of the reports? Since there have been no other corrections, we're not going to hold up the online person. Some of them have to go to the supermarket.
Can we have a mover online, a mover and seconder
Mover and seconder.
to adopt the report? Moved by Barrington Hibbert, seconded by Dion Murphy.
Thank you for that. Those in favor? Those against? And no abstentions. Thank you. So at this time, we will move to have the credit committee reports. Credit committee. Thank you, Constance.
Morning, fellow credit union members. Credit committee report for the year ending December 30th, 2020. And we'll just look at some of the figures for 2019. The year under review will be forever be etched in the history books as the world adapt to a new way of functioning. The credit committee would also adapt to the new operations. For 2.5 months, the committee did not meet due to the lockdown and restrictions that were imposed by the government of Jamaica containing the spread of COVID-19 virus. The credit committee continued to carry out the mandate of the credit union and by extension ensuring that all members realize their dreams. It was a privilege to have been entrusted that very important task of assisting and approving members' loans. It was truly a challenging year, but the members remain resolute and committed to the task entrusted to us. We met on Wednesdays and considered loans approvals. We attended quarterly joint meetings with members of the board of directors and supervisory committee. Our members of the credit committee are Ms. Novlet Otters, Camille Williams, Dion Murphy, Ms. Blondell Walker, and myself, Constance Roberts Perkins. The responsibility of the committee members during the meetings were to ensure 1, compliance with the credit union loans policy and procedures. 2, documents are accurately and appropriately completed. 3, risk management, minimized. 4, appropriate security maintained for each loan application. Loans dispersed in 2020, 2019, and 2020. Based on the tables that will be shown, for 2020, 407 loans were dispersed during the period of January to December of a total value of 210.49 million. In 2019, 446 loans were dispersed with a total dollar value of 109.67 million. Therefore, in 2020, there was a decrease in the number of loans dispersed by 39. However, there was an increase in the total dollar value of these loans by 100.82 million. To look closer at two loans in particular, we look at the personal loan and compare it with the motor vehicle loan for the 2 years. Personal loans for 2019, we approved 369 loans with a total dollar value of 61.5 million. In 2020, we reduced the number to 303 loans, but we increased the dollar value to 43.3 million. Looking at the motor vehicle loan, we only had 19 loans with a total dollar value of 21.3 million in 2019. However, in 2020, we exceeded all of that with a total loans of 57 and a total dollar value which has surpassed increase is 104 million point six. 114 million point six. In concluding, the credit committee extend appreciation to the board of directors, supervisory committee, management and staff for their guidance and continued support, which enabled us to accomplish our tasks in an efficient manner, and to you, our valued members, for understanding and cooperation. Just remember, start where you are, use what you have, do what you can, or to Ashe. For us at the credit committee, it is all about you. Thank you for electing us to serve. It was a pleasure working with you. Are there any questions?
Millicent, you had your hand up for a while. Is it a question for the credit committee? Or you wish to lower your hand? Anybody else have any questions? Please put it in the chat. Going once. Going twice. Going 3 times. There being no questions, we'll ask for an adoption of the credit committee report by a mover and a seconder, please. Raising your hands. Egon Fagan moved. Gillian Mason Corey seconded. Quarry, Gillian Mason Quarry, online seconded. Egon Fagan moved.
Thank you very much for that. We're not seeing them. They're hiding.
Oh, Madam Chair, Member Miriam Samuels has indicated that the year 2020 was a sad time for her, and as her husband passed in May, but she's happy to be in the AGM this year.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Tell her welcome. We're sorry her husband passed. Sadly.
She,
Oh, she's here now? Oh,
The chat.
beautiful. Oh,
She's on.
she's hearing me. I tell you about this information transmission thing and on the virtual online. So we're very sorry for that. And we hope that you have support with you in your moments of grief. And you have a strong support network.
Miss Pearlie is on.
Oh. At this time, before we go any further,
I don't have their hand up.
Jillian Mason Quarry.
Jillian, could you state your name or open your camera, please?
Open your mic and tell us your full name, Jillian. She's there. Is there anybody else over there? Not hearing you?
Okay, Jillian, as you have internet
You have
connection
internet connectivity issues.
issues. All right, thank you very much.
And you know, it's a good thing that this kind of method of media now we hear about. We're learning new names now in nursing. Internet connectivity issues. I never used to use those before. Oh, the deputy chief nurse. And even more reason now she should have no internet connectivity issues. Thank you. I also understand that in attendance, we have from Jamaica Cooperative Credit Union League, Cleo Ann Erar and Katrina Grant de Aguilar. Welcome. And also for the first time online, it's a good thing we have internet because Mrs. Pearlie Epstein Mary, who is joining us in England. I don't know if we can actually hear her. Can we see her? And can we? Yeah.
Pearlie, can you open your
Miss
camera
Pearlie,
for
could you
us?
open your mic and even say something to us? Let us hear the British tone.
Good afternoon, Madam President. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon. We need a few words from you, Miss Pearlie.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me. I send congratulations on the growth of our credit union. We have gone from strength to strength, and I'm happy to still be a member. I recall our formative years with all the teething pains and having made so many sacrifices. I'm glad we're still together. And I wish you all the best for a very successful and productive meeting. My love to everyone.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you. You have really boosted us here today. Thank you so much. And I will speak to you later.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss
Looking
Faith,
forward to that.
wonderful. Faith Smart from England is also online. Could we get her to open her mic and even say a thing? Nice to hear persons from England. You know that we're not traveling much these days now. So if we can hear a word or two from Faith. Is she hearing us? Faith Smart. Hello, Faye. Hello. This is Janet from Jamaica. Not hearing her yet. I understand Grace Smart Sims is also here, is also online. Grace, who is a past board president. Grace, are you there? Grace, unmute your mic and say something to us. Not hearing? Grace, don't have any connectivity issues? Oh dear. We'd love to have heard from Grace. even a word or two. Grace is one lady who always has gifts or packages for someone or for everyone. Yes, that is Grace. If you don't know her at all, she will give and give, and amazing, just an amazing lady. So until we hear from Grace and Faye, if we can, we will move on now to the credit committee report for 2019-2020. The supervisor, also, we heard from credit committee, sorry. Supervisory committee.
Okay, let me say special good morning to our members, especially those in the diaspora and those from England, because I know that the pound is exceptionally strong. So that should all go well for our credit union. I'll first give you a synopsis of what happened in 2019, and then I'll go on to 2020. I'll be quick with 2019. For that period, the following members were elected to serve on the supervisory committee. Mr. Kevin Parker, Beretta Thomas, Sarika Brandon Betty, O'Neill Barrett, and Barrington Hibbert, yours truly. And the committee elected yours truly as chairman. The supervisory committee reviewed and assessed the internal controls of the credit union and made recommendations where necessary to minimize operational risk. Meetings were held monthly to facilitate these activities. A number of areas were examined by areas of the credit union and operation and business processes examined included dormant account, bank reconciliation, segregation of duties, and a number of other areas. And generally speaking, the supervisor committee findings were that operations of the credit union were to a large extent compliant with established policies and procedures. And we had concluded that in conclusion, the credit union during 2019 realized a surplus of $2.6 million. And this was compared to $12.25 million surplus in 2018. And based on the results of the 2019 annual audit carried out by Bogle & Company, we concluded that financial challenges were experienced during the year, and we were expecting even more challenges during 2000s of the COVID-19. So due to the challenges, our profit for that year was $2.6 million. Moving to 2020. During this period, the supervisor committee operated with 3 of the required 5 members during the year under review due to the resignations of 2 of its members. The 3 members who served on the committee were Miss Beretta Thomas, Mrs. Sarika Brandon Betty, and that Sarika is with S-E-R-I-C-A, Brandon Betty, and yours truly, Barrington Hibbert, and yours truly continued as chairman of the committee, and Mrs. Brandon Betty as secretary. The committee continued its mandate to review and assess the internal controls of the credit union and make recommendations where necessary to minimize operational risk. Meetings were normally held monthly, but due to the COVID-19 restrictions, some of these meetings were canceled in accordance with government protocols. In addition to regular meetings, the members of the committee also attended joint board and committee meetings, which were held on a quarterly basis. Areas of the credit union operation and business processes examined by the supervisory committee were source recording documentation, bank reconciliation, property tax payments, staff attendance, petty cash verification, and the rest are there in the report. The credit union contracted a company, Smith and Associates, to conduct quarterly internal audits, and reports from these audits were perused and analyzed by the supervisor committee with special note of the auditor's recommendations. As a follow-up, discussions were held with the management of the credit union regarding the findings and recommendations. And the general comments, the findings of the supervisor committee were that the operations of the credit union were to a large extent compliant with established policies and procedures. The members of the supervisor committee expressed their gratitude for the opportunity to serve the credit union in this capacity and extend thanks to the board of directors for their continued support, the management and staff for their level of cooperation and commitment, and the membership of the credit union for trusting us with this tremendous responsibility. And in conclusion, the credit union recorded a deficit of $9.1 million compared to a surplus of $2.5 million in the previous year. And it could be concluded that the significant deficit for 2020 was largely due to the financial challenges experienced during the year relating to COVID and measures to control the spread of this disease. These included quarantines and the partial closure of the economy, which negatively affected lending institutions. Well, the Jamaican economy declined by 9.9% in 2020, but it is projected to grow in 2021 as it rebounds from the negative impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. This should augur well for the business community and the credit union. With the assistance of the supervisor committee, the credit union will continue the observance of good fiscal discipline and adherence to the established policies and procedures to facilitate improved performance in 2021. So we are looking for brighter times. During 2021, the economy is projected to grow, and this should augur well for the credit union. And that's a supervisory report. Any questions?
Any questions online going once? Place it in the chat. Any questions online going twice? Any questions online going 3 times? There being no other questions, we ask for a motion, a mover and seconder to adopt the supervisory committee report. Michelle Hales Thompson has moved. Could you open your camera, Michelle? And Narfine Francis Smith, seconded. Narfine, please open your cameras. Thank you very much. And thanks very much to our supervisor committee chair.
Thank you.
What a powerful group of members. They have adopted, they didn't have much questions for the supervisor report, so Mr. Hibbert, you are doing well. Please congratulate those members of the supervisory committee. For your members, all 100 and odd persons didn't have any problems with it. So no.
Madam President, Narfine Smith.
Yes.
Celebrating 31 years wedding anniversary.
Oh, wonderful. Narfine, congratulations. Congratulations. Please congratulate Mr. Smith for me, please, for having managed you for 31 years. Thank you. Okay, so at this time now, we need to hear where the money is, right? So we're going to take the treasurer's report. I'm always very interested in this, because The treasurer is a serious man. He's the treasurer. Mr. Tuller, you're going to ask your Bogle and company to come and so forth. I hand it over to you, sir.
Good morning, fellow cooperators, those here and those on site in Cyberland. At this time, I'm going to ask our auditor, Mr. Thomas Wint, Esquire, to come and present the auditor's report, and it can be found on pages 16 to 19 of your annual report. I'm doing 2020 because it encompasses everything. Yeah.
Madam President,
16 to 19.
all members of the credit union, a warm
16 to 19.
Is everybody hearing me now? Good. Is it morning or afternoon? Good morning, everyone. The audit report is from page 16 of your and financial statements, along with the treasurer's report. It's from page 16, your booklet, page 67, about 50 pages. I doubt if anybody has read the financial statements in its entirety. But I'm only trusted with the responsibility of presenting you the auditor's report, which is on page 16 to page 18, page 19 rather. But I'll read from page 16 to 18, as 19 is an appendix. We have audited the financial statements of NAJ Health and Health Services Cooperative Credit Union Limited, set out on page 5 to 41, which comprise the statements of financial position as of December 31st, 2020, the statement of profit and loss and other comprehensive income, changes in equity and cash flows for the year then ended, and notes comprising significant accounting policies and other explanatory information. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of the credit union as at December 31st, 2020, and of the financial performance and cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with international financial reporting standards and the Cooperative Societies Act. Basis for our opinion. We have conducted our audit in accordance with international standards on auditing. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the financial statements section of the report. We are independent of the credit union in accordance with International Ethics Standards Board for Accountant Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants. And we have fulfilled our other ethical responsibilities in accordance with the IESBA code. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. Key audit matters. Key audit matters are those matters that in our professional judgment were of most significance in our audit of the financial statements for the current period. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit of the financial statements and informing our opinion thereon. We do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. The audit matters continued. The credit union recorded a significant deficit in the current year. How we address key audit matters. We performed substantive tests to confirm that all revenue and expenses were recorded in the current accounting period. We reviewed the delinquency report and confirmed that the deficit was due mainly to an increase in loan impairment and a few small loans. Other information. Management is responsible for the other information. The other information comprises the information included in the annual report, but does not include the financial statements and our audit report thereon. The annual report is expected to be made available to us after the date of this audited report. Our opinion on the financial statements does not cover the other information, and we will not express any form of assurance or conclusion thereon. In connection with our audit of the financial statements, our responsibility is to read the other information and identified above when it becomes available. And in doing so, consider whether the information is materially inconsistent with the financial statements or our knowledge obtained in the audit, or otherwise appears to be materially misstated. When we read the annual report, if we conclude that there is a material misstatement therein, we are required to communicate the matter to the board of directors. Responsibilities of management and the board of directors for the financial statements. Management is responsible for the preparation of the financial statements that give a true and fair view in accordance with international financial reporting standards and the Cooperative Societies Act, and for such internal control as management determines is necessary to enable the preparation of financial statements that are free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error. In preparing the financial statements, management is responsible for assessing the credit union's ability to continue as a going concern and disclosing as applicable matters relating to going concern. The board of directors is responsible for overseeing the credit union's financial reporting standard process. Auditors' responsibilities for the audit of the financial statements. Our objectives are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements as a whole are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error, and to issue an auditor's report that includes our opinion. Reasonable assurance is a high level of assurance, but is not a guarantee that an audit conducted in accordance with international standards on auditing will always detect a material misstatement when it exists. Misstatements can arise from fraud or error and are considered material if individually or in aggregate, they could reasonably be expected to influence economic decisions of users taken on the basis of these financial statements. A further description of our responsibility for the audit of the financial statements is included in the appendix to this report. This description, which is located on page 4, forms a part of our auditor's report. Report on additional matters as required by the Cooperative Societies Act. We have obtained all the information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purposes of our audit. In our opinion, proper accounting records have been maintained so far as appears from our examination of those records, and the financial statements which are in agreement therewith give the information required by the Cooperative Societies Act in the manner required. The engagement partner on the audit resulting in this independent auditor's report is Warwick Bogle, signed by Bogle and Company, March 26, 2021. Thank you very much for your attention.
Mr. Treasurer, before you continue, Iona White Lawson has noted a correction on page 23. 4 lines to the bottom of the page, the first word should be BAD, bad, bad debts, and not DAD, dad.
What page?
Page 23. Page 23, 4 lines from the bottom of the page. First word should,
Yes.
should be
yes,
bad.
yes.
And not
The treasurer's report can be found on pages 63 to 67. In addition to this, the financial reports can be found from pages 20 to 56. Over the last year, there's certain words that we have learned which have impacted our lives. The fragility of life, compassion, empathy, connectivity, and in addition to this, transformational. So as today we look at the Treasurer's report of NAJ, we have to focus on the challenges that have faced not only the credit union, but our nation and indeed the world. Jamaica is facing an unprecedented, challenging time in the sphere of life brought on by COVID-19. We have to collaborate, we have to navigate to challenge this economic tsunami. Special mention must be made of our members who have been the vanguard on the front line of fighting and keeping the nation safe. When we look at the Jamaican economy, we experience reduction in GDP of 10.2%. And the downturn in the global spend, and we continue to see the impact that this world is now facing with vaccines. The shock brought by the pandemic resulted in lower employment levels as well as lower business. And this is why today we see the government of Jamaica opening the economy and several governments around the world looking at increasing the opening of the economy safely. More importantly to us is that unemployment rate in Jamaica jumped to 16.5% and compared to 7.2% in 2019. The foreign exchange rate, US dollar versus Jamaican dollar, continued to be volatile. It moved from 137.80 to 144.41. Inflation remained stable over the period at 5.2%. When we look at the credit union movement, what we see here is that between 2019 and 2020, the total assets of the 25 credit unions in the Jamaican movement moved from 123.97 at the end of 2019 to 136.97, making a 10.49% increase. Loans, however, because during 2020, people were not willing to take on additional debt because the fragility of life, people were not therefore taking more loans. What happened is that loans only grew by 3.57, moving from 88.4 billion to 91.6 billion, a 3.5% growth. Savings, however, did much better because it moved from 96.31 to 105.80 billion, or a 9.95% increase. Membership in the movement also showed some increase, moving from 1,006,557 to 1,034,962, a growth of 2.82%. When we look at our own credit union, what we found is that in 2020, if you we were impacted by, and one of the challenges that we faced over that period was loan impairment, which impacted significantly on our performance, a loan impairment of 7 million. So this impacted on the performance of the credit union. In 2019, interest income was 54.52 million. In 2020, 56.31. So therefore, you'd see that it's virtually stable, a 1.7 million difference. Interest on bad debts, interest expense plus bad debts, 10.71, as against 9.26 in 2019, a change of 1.45. Interest income remained relatively stable at 45.26, 45.60. This is an area which we expected growth, because what we find here is that the rates that are being paid on the investments that we have in the financial sector, the rates have dropped significantly. Bad debts recovered. In 2020, we had none. In 2019, we had 2.67. And the provisioning that we had to make, a write-off, was 7 million. However, one of the things I can say to you that during 2021, we have engaged new legal services, and efforts have been made since the start of 2021 to make great inroads in collecting these loans, because most of these loans were secured by assets, for example, real estate, and we have moved to realize those assets. The next aspect here is that interest income after allowance, we're talking about interest income after allowance for loan loss, 38.6 in 2020 as against 47.93. Other income went down because of the prevailing economic conditions, from 12.99, and in 2020, it was 8.52. Our gross margin, when you take up all your income and minus your expenses, what we have is that our gross margin was 47.12, and our operating expense was 56.29. So what we're saying here is that our total expenses was gross income was 41.12. Our expenses, which include administrative expenses, etc., was 56.29 as against 56.3. So where we fell down here in 2020 was although expense remained relatively stable at 56 million, our income dropped from 58 million to 47.12, resulting in a net loss, or a deficit in 2020 of 9.17 million as against 2.61 in the previous year. And our interest income increased marginally from 56.31 in 2020 compared with 54.52 in 2019, reflecting a 1.79 million, or a 3.2%. Our operating expense remained relatively stable, and loan impairment is where we had our greatest challenge. And as I indicated to you, we have placed initiative to ensure that we make a turnaround in 2021. when we look at our balance sheet reflected some positive changes. For example, total loans increased to 777 million.41 at the end of 2020. I can assure you our total assets as at 2021 May is now over 800 million. So we are moving in the right direction. So total assets to that 777.41 at the end of 2020. In 2019, it was 71164, a growth of 65.77 million. Member share moved from 334.44 million to 354.08, a growth of 19.64%. Members' loans originated was 463 million.17 as against 517.21 in 2020, an increase of 54.04. What we now find in 2021 is a challenging situation in that the repayments are actually equaling the new loans that are being taken. So what is happening is that at, say, the end of May, if we collected on our loans 30 million and we make 30 million, we end up with a net situation of no growth. So we are encouraging your members that now is the time to come to NAJ and borrow, because there are exciting products that are on the market for you to now come and borrow, because we need your support to grow the credit union. And the next item I want to look at, financial members deposit moved from 248 to 304.39, a growth of 55.92. And one of the things in terms of deposits, your credit union continue to offer the best rates available in the market. If you go to any bank, the most they're offering is 1%. Whilst at your credit union, you can get as much as 4%, over 4%. So your credit union still offers the best place to place your funds. Financial investment went down from 162.22 to 157.03. Equity remains relatively stable at 98, went down because of the loss, so the equity was impacted by the loss. So we moved from 98.20 to 90.25, 7.95. And institutional capital remained at 67.96. Some key indicators that we looked at, solvency margin. What happens is that the solvency margin, the goal is 111. At December 2020, we were 113.75. Net loans to total assets, the goal is 60 to 80. We are at 66.01. Savings deposit to total assets is 70 to 80%. NAJ is at 84.65%. So we are there. Institutional capital, the goal is 8%. We are at 10.70. And membership, however, the goal is 5%. Last year, we only achieved 3.43. So there's room for growth. Bring your family members and ask them to come and join NAJ Credit Union. In the area of delinquency, we face some challenges. And we just want to look at the delinquency graph. And what is happening here, why you're seeing those periods, is that we're still having problems in getting the funds from the Ministry of Health, regional bodies on a timely basis. So it is impacting on us as an entity. Representations have been made by our CEO and the board. However, it should not be of, once we can get this moving, we should be in a better position. As of December 2020, total delinquent loans were 101. What is important is that $45 million or 44% is in the category of 1 to 29 days. 35 million or 35% of the loans are in the 30 to 60 days. 11 million or 11% were outstanding for 61 to 90 days. And 2 million or 2% in the category of 91 to 180 days. So this era of 91 to 180 is where the concern is. And 181 to 360 is or 6% is over 360 days. And what I indicated to you is that we recognize that we had to become more aggressive to ensure that we collect all of these delinquencies and also to pursue efforts and initiative to ensure that our credit union begins to get the funds earlier. Because when we get the funds early, it has an impact on the surplus of the credit union. So we need the support of the Ministry of Health to ensure that we receive our funds on a timely basis. Your board continues to ensure that initiatives are placed and strategic plans, goals are instituted to ensure that there's continued growth and the continued viability of this, our credit union. We continue to deliver quality service to our members without compromising on the quality of service. We are encouraging you to utilize the credit union. I can only plead to you to continue to utilize your credit union to improve and enhance the quality of your life. It is our goal that during this year, we will be putting on some seminars dealing with wills and dealing with financial management to ensure Zoom offers a great opportunity to reach your members and to ensure that we tell you about the products. And I want to tell you that our marketing team and management has intensified the reach. I was on YouTube from NAJ, and more of you need to get on YouTube to see what is happening in your credit union to grow the loan. The partner plan is an exciting plan that you need to begin to participate in. And finally, our mission as NAJ Credit Union is to promote thrift among our members and to provide financial advice, provide financial services, and competitive rate. We not only want to look about your finances, we want to look about your welfare, because the credit union is there to serve you, our credit union members. I want to give God thanks for his continued guidance and blessing. And I want to take this opportunity to thank my fellow board members to put up with me from time to time, and the management and staff for their continued dedication towards the survival of this entity, NAJ. I'd also like to thank you, our valued members, for your commitment, for your partnership, and for your support of NAJ. The payroll officers and the management of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, we thank you for the work you do, but we want to get the funds earlier. We want to thank Bogland Company for the support, the Registrar of Cooperatives, and the Jamaica Cooperative Credit Union League. And finally, I want to thank you all for making sure you make this meeting today a success. Are there any questions? This is my report. Are there any questions? Cyberland, any questions here? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions?
No question, but Grace Smart Sim says, well done, great meeting, feeling blessed to be a part. Lillian Lewis, do you have a question? You raised your hand, Lillian Lewis McDonald. No questions going once.
Sir Thomas, you have a question? I'm going to ask the president indulgence if she could kindly grant you a minute to come and articulate what you're saying after the meeting. Yes, thanks. Madam President, over to you.
Adopt.
I'm sorry. Can we move for the adoption of the treasurer's report?
Can we have a?
And the auditors and treasurer's report. I'm sorry.
Moved. Okay, moved by Lillian Lewis, seconded by Shirley Hibbert. All in favor, raise hands. This is the adoption of the treasurer's and auditor's report. All in favor? Aye.
Can you turn
Oh, I
with me?
I have a question, sir.
Yeah.
From Iona White Lawson. I'm 70 years old. Will my loan request be covered by insurance given the advertisement on page 12? Will her loan at 70 years old be covered by insurance given the ad on page 12?
Madam CEO. Yes.
It says the benefit is available to all our members under the.
Yes, it's
Right,
under
so
70.
right, so it's under 70.
Yeah.
So what has happened? Yes, some other. So what happens to those members who don't have the LP and LS? They have to have another type of insurance?
Yes. Yes.
Right, so Iona White Lawson, it means if you would have to get another insurance to cover your loan.
Okay. So there's the availability of insurance from CUNA and JCIA, right? Fellow cooperatives, please turn with me to page 67, proposal for fixing of maximum liability. That's the resolution. It is proposed that the maximum liability to December 31st, 2020 remains at 16 times the capital and reserves. For on behalf of the board, and it's moved by me, those in favor?
Moved by Derek Toller.
Toller.
Could we have a seconder, please? Constance Roberts Perkins, seconded by Constance Roberts Perkins.
And just to remind our members that the fixing of the maximum liability is a a statutory requirement for us to be able to accept loans or to give loans to our members. All in favor? Those against? Any abstention? The ayes have it. Thank you.
Members who have devices online, please rename. So I have some Galaxy phones. I have 1234. I have 5059. Please rename so that the credit union can have the information for the records. Please hover over your name, go to more. And when you go to more, you'll see rename.
Thank you very much for that. The treasurer's report, I'm going to ask our CEO to not only add him as a treasurer, again with the marketing management. Put him along with marketing management, Madam CEO. Thank you so much, Mr. Toller. Do you have any objection? At this time, we'll go to the nominating committee report.
Good afternoon again. The nominating committee report is found on page 68 of your annual report book with the amendments that were given this morning. According to Article 12, Rule 63, the nominating committee shall be appointed by the Board of Directors, which should be 3 members, none of which should be a member of the existing board. Based on these rules, the board appointed the following persons to serve on this committee: Mr. Egon Fagan, Mr. Ashani Thomas, and yours truly, Chairperson Patsy Edwards Henry. In undertaking its work, the committee was guided by the following. The credit union has in place term limits for volunteers. So no director or member of the credit or supervisory committee shall be allowed to serve for more than 3 consecutive terms. Therefore, and a term is considered 2 years. Therefore, volunteers who have served for 6 years will be deemed as serving for 3 consecutive terms. A member will be eligible for re-election to the board after a period of 2 years. So for this annual general meeting, we have retiring from the board of directors, Mrs. Janet Korfar, Mr. Derek Tollo, Mr. Derek Graham, Mrs. Charmaine O'Reilly, Dr. Hilary Jones, Ms. Doreen Kushney, Mr. Robert Hibbert, Dr. Audrey McNabb, and Ms. Claudia Wallin. And nominated to serve for the next term are Mrs. Janet Korfar for a period of 1 year, Mr. Derek Toller for a period of 1 year, Mr. Derek Graham for a period of 1 year, Mrs. Charmaine O'Reilly for a period of 1 year, Ms. Dr. Hilary Jones for a period of 1 year, Ms. Doreen Kushney for 2 years, Mr. Robert Hibbert for 2 years, Dr. Audrey McNabb for 2 years, and Ms. Claudia Wallin for 2 years. At this annual general meeting, retiring for the credit committee are Mrs. Constance Roberts Perkin, Ms. Novelette Arthurs, Ms. Dion Murphy, Mrs. Blondell Walker, and Ms. Camille Williams. And nominated to serve are Mrs. Constance Perkins for a year, Ms. Novelette Arthurs for 1 year, Ms. Dion Murphy for 1 year, Mrs. Maureen Young-Sewell for 1 year, and Ms. Camille Williams for 1 year. For the supervisory committee, retiring at this annual general meeting are Mr. Barrington Hibbert, Miss Beretta Thomas, Mrs. Sarika Brandon Betty, Mr. Kevin Parker, and Mr. O'Neill Barrett. And nominated to serve are Mr. Barrington Hibbert, Miss Beretta Thomas, Mrs. Sarika Brandon Betty, Mrs. Mendes Dennis Vincent, and Mrs. Blondell Williams. And for the supervisory committee, Blondell Walker. And for the supervisory committee, the term of office for all persons is a year. Nomination to the league. Delegates and alternate delegates to the Jamaica Cooperative Credit Union League Limited Annual General Meeting will be the president, the treasurer, and the chief executive officer. Thank you. I now hand over to members of the Department of Corporate and Friendly Society to conduct the elections.
Good afternoon, fellow corporators. All protocols observed. The nominating committee report has been placed before us. The nominations shall be valid if the nominees have fulfilled their obligations to the credit union and has satisfied the supervisory authority that they are fit and proper to perform corporate management functions. In accordance with the credit union's rule, Article 12, Rule 63.1, if sufficient nominations are recommended, then the nominees will be duly nominated. We will begin with the board of directors. The nominees are, as read by Mrs. Henry, Janet Corfar, Derek Toller, Derek Graham, Charmaine O'Reilly, Hilary Jones, Doreen Cushney, Robert Ebert, Audrey McNabb, Claudia Wallen. Are there any nominations from the floor? Going once, going twice, going a third time. Are there any nominations from the floor? There be no nominations from the floor. Sorry, members within the cyberspace.
Any nominations from the floor for members online? Going once? Any nominations? Going twice? Any nominations for members online? Going 3 times? No nominations from the persons online.
Okay. There be no nominations from the floor. The members of the board are duly elected to serve for, all right, so we have Janet Corfar serving for 1 year, Derek Toller, Derek Graham, Charmaine O'Reilly, Hilary Jones, serving an expired 1 year. And Miss Doreen Cushney, Robert Ebert, Audrey McNabb, Claudia Wallen serving for 2 years. Give them a round of applause. Yeah, ma'am. May I ask that a motion be moved to accept these nominees? Yeah.
A mover and
For the
seconder.
board, for
to
the board of
accept
directors.
The persons elected for the board of directors. We need a mover and seconder. Moved by Iona White Lawson. We need a seconder for the election of the board members. Seconded by Barrington Hibbert.
All in favor? Thank you so much. A round of applause for the board of directors. We now move to the credit committee. These members will be serving for a maximum of 2 years. We have Constance Roberts Perkins, novelette authors, Dion Murphy Niedrich, Maureen Young Sewell, and Camille Williams. Are there any nominations from the floor, both physically and online? You may indicate if you so desire.
Any nominations online for members to the credit committee? Going once. Any nominations from the online? Going twice. Any nominations for persons on the credit committee? Going 3 times for those online. No nominations online.
Okay, any nominations here? If there be no nominations, the members are duly elected to serve on the credit committee. May I have someone move the motion to accept these nominations? Moved by Doreen Kushney. May I have a seconder, please?
Seconder from online, Novelette Robinson.
Okay, Novelette Robinson from online. All in favor? Okay. From the supervisory committee, the nominees are Barrington Ebert, Barretta Thomas, Sarika Brandon Betty, Mendes, Dennis, Dennis Vincent rather, Blandel Walker. Are there any nominations from the floor? Online, persons online?
Any nominations online? Any other nominations online for persons on the supervisory committee to be elected for 1 year? Going once. Any nominations online? The supervisory committee? Going twice. Any nominations online for the supervisory committee? Going 3 times. There are no nominations from the members online.
Are there any nominations here? No. There be no nominations. These nominees are duly elected to serve for a term of 1 year. May I have a motion to move to accept? First, moved by Derek Tulloh. May I have a second? May we have a round of applause for these volunteers. Janet Korfar. I am reminding the board that approval is being sought for delegates to be appointed to the league. Okay, we have that. That's Janet Korfar, Dr. Markey, and Mr. Tulloh, Mr. Derek Tulloh. Okay. You may, sir. Yeah, the president to be decided on. So it would be the president, the secretary, and the treasurer. All right. All right. CEO. CEO. The secretary.
The manager and the secretary. So we need the permission of the members to allow these persons to be elected to the league, to represent them at the league meetings or anything to do with the credit union matters. So can we have a move on a second of these persons to be duly elected?
Egan Pagan. First. Okay. Dr. Hilary Jones, second.
So these persons were duly elected by persons that are in persons, and it's Mr.
online.
Fagan and Ms. Jones. All in favor? Anybody against? The ayes have it.
I am reminding the board that within 10 days of this election, this meeting, that you're supposed to meet and make a decision in respect to your officers. Thereafter, you may submit a list of those nominees to the department and other entities, authorities, such as the league, so that we may have those on records. Right? And the list should contain the names, addresses, and so on, those important details that we may need for our record. Thank you. Yeah, please notify. Delete. Should an officer be changed? Like if there's any changes to, yeah.
Madam Chair, we have some members with their hands up. Iona White Lawson, Grace Smart Sims, Lanisha Anderson. Members, do you have a question? You want to put it in the chat? Camille Williams. They were voting. Vanessa Anderson and Iona. Do you have a question? Cersei, Brandon, Betty, do you have a question?
No answer?
No questions.
Okay.
Okay.
So once again, voting and everything went well. I thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I'm going to carry you with me to certain places to help us to vote and help us to conduct proper voting. I'm not going to name the places though. No name calling. And at this time, as I promised, those persons online and those persons in-house that we would coming to the end now of what I would think is a wonderful meeting. Am I right? This is some people looking at me and smiling. I don't quite understand it. I not do reading so well. No, sir, I'm going to have a word with you after. We have come to any other business. Any other business that we wish to raise at this time have been conducted. I need to thank all of those persons who helped us to conduct the meeting. Anybody online? Anybody in cyberspace?
Anybody online? Any other business? You're at any other business? Do you want to ask any question? Please open your mics.
I do have one matter to bring up. No, nobody online?
Only Cersei, Brandon, Sarika.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Madam President.
Good afternoon.
I'm just saying that For the supervisory committee for the year 2020, 2021, only 3 persons served. I heard 5 persons' name read, and the 3 persons are Mr. Barrington Hibbert, Miss Berita Thomas, and Mrs. Sarika Brandon Betty. I've been trying to speak, but I was unable to unmute, and I did type it twice in the chat. So I would like to have that corrected because only 3 persons served for the year 2020 to 2021,
Well,
not
Madam,
5.
well, Madam NAJ President is coming to address. Sorry, the nomination chair will address her.
Say, Mrs. Betty, that the supervisor report did say that 2 persons of the 5 nominated had resigned. So we are aware that 3 persons served. The committee should have 5. 5 were nominated, 2 resigned, 3 served. So we're now back at 5.
Have you heard that, Mrs. Betty?
Yes, Mrs. Farr.
Oh, so is that clarity enough for you?
Okay.
Thank you. So I'm going to, at this time, I'm going to invite Ashani with his marketing strategist to come and tell us what's happening. We want to give the giveaway first? Okay, all right. So some giveaways first and then the marketing.
All right, thank you. So before we all log off, and can I take the privilege, since I'm the one doing the giveaways, to say we're gonna do the giveaways to the persons online? No, kind of, sort of. Yes, mainly, yes, the persons online. We're going to no, you have no choice in the matter. And we have, it's some phone credit that we have to give away. I need my IT people to tell me how we're gonna do this in order to give so the persons can get the credit to add to their phones. And we have for both Digicel and Flow, so have no fear. Whichever network you're on, we have you covered. No, we don't have a lot of time. We're gonna ask a few questions in this segment. We're gonna come back with some more giveaways after Ashani speak. So we're just giving away some of the credit now based on questions that we're gonna ask. And the first person online to type in the answer, the correct answer to the question. Well, we want this is a Digicel credit. So if you can tell me, so for persons with a Digicel phone, when was the credit union started? Can we have the first person with that answer who will get some Digicel credit?
Lillian Lewis says June 1946.
No, the NAJ credit union we're talking about. NAJ credit union. Sorry, I did not state clearly. So that wouldn't be correct. NAJ credit union, when was it started?
Satchel, 1976.
That's correct, Gracelyn. Gracelyn, can you tell us the month? Well, I didn't ask the month, so I tell you the year. So it's August 1976. So congratulations, Gracelyn. All right. And how are we gonna get them to get this credit now? You're gonna have to scratch and give them the numbers. Is that it? Gracelyn, can we give your credit to Patsy? To text it to you? She's saying yes. And you have gotten $200 Digicel credit. Congratulations. Give her a round of applause. All right. So we are going to somebody who is on Flow, on the Flow network for $200 call credit as well. And I want you to name 4 of the current board members. 4 of the current board members. If you can quickly type that in, $200 flow credit is coming your way. And I have my able Miss Vera Lindo across there monitoring the chat, and so she'll be able to tell me when we have a winner. 4 members of our
Four
current
board members,
board.
4 current board members.
You
Come
saw
on,
all the members up there on screen this morning.
come on, online members, we're waiting for
Nobody would
you.
even 2. If you
Okay.
give me 2, you get $100.
Dion,
I asked for 4.
you asked for 4.
So if you give me 2, you get 100. So we're not going to stay forever. You have a winner,
Well,
Sarah?
Dion had 3, Janet Farr, Doreen Kushney, and Derek Graham.
Come on, one
Dion
more,
Murphy.
Dion. One more person, Dion.
Then Laurette Carty Jones,
That's, oh, Laurette is on, giving
Core
names.
Farr, Claudia Wallen, Derek Tolo, Derek Graham.
There you go. All right, so we have a winner. And that is whom?
That is Laurette Carty Jones.
Okay, Laurette, congratulations to you. You have won yourself $200 flow credit. My IT person is going to see that it gets to you. So don't log off just yet. All right, thank you so much. 2 more call credit and then Ashani will come. The first person who can name the auditors of our credit union, what's the company? What's the name of the company who audits our credit union? You're gonna win 200 Digicel credit. Do we have a winner? The representative from the auditing company was up here, presented the report.
Iona White Lawson says Bogle.
Bogle, finish the name, Iona. Iona, she's finishing it?
Michelle came in before her, Bogle and Company.
All right.
Michelle
so-
Hales Thompson.
Michelle Hales Thompson, Bogle and Company. They are our current auditors. So you get yourself 200 Digicel call credit. Somebody's documenting that name. So please do not hang up. Do not log off. You're gonna get your credit. And one final, and this is Flo. We're going to Flo again for another $200 in call credit. And I want you to, first person who can name 2 past presidents of the NAJ Credit Union Board. 2 past presidents of the credit union. First person. No, Constance. No. Families and work persons who work there.
We're waiting on online members.
Anybody online?
Iona says Hanson and Champany. Maureen Young Sewell says Great Smart Sims and Merlene Davis.
All right. Who is that?
Grace Smart Sims.
Grace, them use flow credit over there. It's not Grace.
Oh, Maureen Young Sewell.
Oh, Maureen Young Sewell is answering.
Yes.
Okay, okay, my bad. I
know.
got that. So Maureen, you're not able to?
Sewell.
Maureen Young Sewell has won herself $200 flow credit. So here, that's for Maureen Young Sewell, $200 call credit. That's it. But it's time, and Ashani, you can come to the podium. So don't go away. We still have a few, and we have a big one big giveaway at the end. So you don't want to miss that one.
Good day to all our members of the NAJ and Health Services Cooperative Credit Union. No, I was just concurring with Mr. Tolo to just to inform everyone whom are present at this meeting today to go ahead and follow all of our social media pages, that's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn at NAJHSCCU. And I'll go ahead and I'll post it in the chat. And you can also go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'll post that link in the chat as well, because these are the platform that we are currently taking advantage of to shoot message out in correlation to products and services that we offer at the credit union. And as Mr. Tolo mentioned earlier, the Partner Plan 2 is a very effective investment product that everyone can utilize as well to grow their financial portfolio. Because of course, with the Future Leadership Club, you can exploit that as well and get your kids to open account and open partner for them, because we have the Picnic Partner Plan and the Schoolers Partner Plan. And it's just a minimum of $500 to open those accounts. And you're allowed to have up to 16 partner plan accounts. And I should tell you, the interest rate on those are very competitive, from 15 to 85%, depending on the period which you choose to open the partner plan. So that's it. So let me repeat, it's at NAJHSCCU on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And it's per hand for the rates for the partner plan. All right, thank you all. $15 to 85%. So for example, if you open a partner plan and you let it run for the period of 4 months, that would attract a 15% interest on the first hand. So you get all of the money that you save for that duration period plus an additional 15% on your first hand. Yes, it is taxable. There is a 25% GCT on the returns. Yes, withholding tax, yes. Yes, that is correct. For the partner plan, as it relates to the penalty that associate with it. So once you make your payment in line with your contract, whether it be you are going to save monthly, whether you're going to save weekly, or you're going to save bi-weekly, and you make all of those payments, there is no penalty attract to the interest that you would receive on it. But dependent on the period that you choose, for example, the 4-month period, you're allowed to have like one payment miss within that period, and for the 1-year partner plan, which you're allowed to have up to 4 late payment, and you'll get the maximum 85% on the hand. And remember, it is at NAJHSCCU for all of the social media platform. Yes. Yes, so we have 4 months, we have 6 months, 9 months, and a year. For the 6 months, it is 25%, and for the 9 months, it's 35%, and for the 1 year, it is 85% on the first hand.
Okay, so if it is that I started the 6 months and I pay on time and everything,
yes,
at the end of that 6 months, I will get how much percent again?
For the 6 months, you will get 25% on the first hand. So let's say your first hand was $20,000 per month. So we'll give you 25% of the first hand, yes, of that 10,000.
It is not the accumulated
No, it's of the first hand. Because remember how partner plan goes in the island, the banker normally takes the first hand, but we here at NAJ say we are giving you back something on that first hand. So it's really encouraging you to save. And not only that, when you finish that investment portfolio, and if you call and said, okay, then for us to send that money to you, to whichever account that you have in the island, whichever, when you call the financial advisor in office, will encourage you and say, hey, you can take advantage of the fixed deposit certificate as well, and say, all right, then let's make more money on this money that you just make, and say, all right, then open a fixed deposit certificate for an additional 1 year, and that can roll over as well. So really, the partner plan is really to help you to accumulate as much funds as possible so you can exploit the fixed deposit certificate. And I should make mention too, the team, the entire staff and everyone, including Dr. Markey and all of us, if you do some research in correlation to fixed deposit certificate island-wide, among all the financial institutions in Jamaica, you would see where NAJ and Health Services Co-op Credit Union has the best return on investment for fixed deposit certificate. We have this one that's called our new money fixed deposit certificate, which give you 5.5% annually for 500,000 Jamaican dollars upward. And that is the highest currently nationally. And before I go, I want to make mention of our this one, or motor vehicle. Yeah, or motor vehicle loan. So we definitely know that in light of the yes. Yeah. Yes. So we definitely know that in light of the current COVID-19, post-COVID-19 pandemic, people will definitely be, taking advantage of car loans. So we here at NAJ and Health Services Co-op has really diversified, our loan portfolio where the interest rate on our car loans are super competitive. We finance motor vehicle from 2013 to new to current 100% financing. And the interest rate on those are, for example, if it's a new vehicle, which would be 2021 and upward, you get 6.5% on those. And for the older vehicle, the 2013 to 2020, you get 7.35 on those. But if the motor vehicles, let's say 2018, thereabout, we can negotiate and you can get 7% on those from the 2017 upward. So contact us today at your credit union, and you can use the social media plug, as I said, at NAJ HSCCU, and someone will respond to you via those methods as well. Yes, that. Hello? The system can't believe all it. Yes, they can hear? Yes. All right, so currently we have a special car loan, summer season running, and we will put that information out too via our social media platform as well. And there is no share requirement needed for these loan. And the interest rate for those is same, which is 6.5%, and the commitment fee for those will be 3.5% plus GCT. And those must be paid by the member in correlation to the commitment fee. Because we definitely know that at times, for example, if you see a motor vehicle loan and you said, okay, the motor vehicle is $1 million, and at the credit union, normally you need 100,000 share in your share account to be able to qualify for that motor vehicle loan. So our loan manager, Ms. Renee Collins, we have said, okay, then we're going to have this special running where there's no share requirement and we will finance it for you 100%. So you can come in and speak with us today, and ask to speak with Ms. Renee Collins or any of us, and we'll provide more information on that for you as well. So there's no share requirement for that loan. And if you need more information, as I said prior, message us at NAJ via all the social media platform, and you can get more details, or you can call any of our WhatsApp numbers, which is 876-832-0872 or 876-832-1195. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so we have the final giveaways before we exit, and we did excellent timing today. I did think we would finish by 1, and so we are almost there. And so as not to create too much bad feeling today, I'm gonna give the next 2 credit giveaways are for persons who are in-house. And so the first person to raise their hand, who is watching after the question is asked, Derek. All right, the first person to raise their hand and offer a correct answer, well, you'll tell me what phone network you're on, and then you'll get the credit for that. All right. Pardon? No, not online. This is for this. These 2 giveaways are for persons who are present here physically. Can you name the board president in 2013? Yes, Patsy? All right, that's your correct, Patsy. The board president in 2013. Which network, Patsy? And you only get 1. You may have 2 phones, but is 1 credit you're getting. Flow or Digicel? All right. So $200 to Patsy. Miss Merlene Davis. Mrs. Merlene Davis was our board president in 2013. All right. Somebody else here now who can tell me, when was the credit union bond widened to include other medical professionals? What year? What year? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. No, Constance? You. No, it was not 2012. Yes, Ashani? No, not 2015. You're answering or asking a question. One chance, I say you get Ashani. Sorry. Yes, 2013 is what I have here as the answer. So the bond was widened to include other medical professionals. What network are you on, madam? Flow. All right, so come for your $200. Turn to the camera. I want to get your flow credit. Fine. All right. Okay, anybody on Digicel? We're going back. We're going back online. Back online. Okay. The first person online to indicate the tagline for NAJ Credit Union. What's our tagline? The first person online to type it in the chat will get $200 Digicel credit. First person online, and the winner there, Vera?
No.
Akina Edwards? Yes, and what is the tagline that Akina says? All right, we're still going to be generous and give it. Helping you to realize your dreams. Congratulations, Akina. Akila Edwards. All right, so $200 Digicel credit for Akila. All right. Do I get any other credit? Okay, just say no. Boss said no. All right, so I have 3 more call credit, 2 Digicel, 2 Flow. 2 Digicel and a flow credit to give away. And someone, anybody online, first person to tell me, when will the new COVID-19 regulations come into play, the new changes to the COVID regulations by the government? When will they come on stream? June 24, the new one? No, well, I want the one when the times will change. The one to come? No, but that's it. That one gone already. July 1. Novlet Robinson said July 1. We're going to give you another question, Dr. Markey. Novlet Robinson. Congratulations, Novlet. You get $200 Digicel credit. So come July 1, so then I can have a big birthday. My birthday celebration can go up to 11 o'clock. All right, on July 3. All right. Okay, so 2 more call credits, and then we have a gift basket to give away, and we have a voucher from a credit union. All right. All right, we asked that one already. All right, can somebody, the first person to name 2 members of the credit committee? The first person to name 2 members of the credit committee? No, nobody in here, no. Online, these last 2 credits of the people online. First person to name 2 members. Which committee did I say? Credit committee. Are we getting any answers? We need the first and last name. And yeah. And that's correct. Debbie and Cooks. Okay, Debbie. Hi, Debbie. You get $200 flow credit, Debbie. Debbie and Cooks. And so since we have asked about the credit committee, we're going to the supervisory committee for $200 Digicel credit. First person to name 2 members on the supervisory committee. Online. Anybody, any winner? Supervisory committee. All right. Nadine Anderson Lawrence. Hi, Nadine. Congratulations. You get $200. What's that? $200 Digicel credit. And our final 2 giveaways. We have a lovely gift basket. If I hold it up here, they'll see it. A lovely gift basket, courtesy of Kuna Caribbean Insurance. A lovely goodie basket with some biscuits, not cookies, stuff. So this lovely gift basket will be going shortly. And who is to win this basket now? Anybody? Here or abroad? All right. So the question, this is a 2-part question, so please listen carefully. You can't just give answer one question for that lovely basket. So there are 2 parts to this question. The first person, whether in-house or online, so I need online, my IT people to have your eyes peeled. And who is in here now is gonna, all right. So one is going to, can I do one online and one in here? No, I have another gift. So I'm going to do one gift this basket for somebody here, and I have the other prize I have is a $5,000. Since the person will be here to collect the basket, I'll do the basket here. And the first person here who can tell me who, so it's two parts, the founding person for the credit union movement and the name of the group CEO currently, the league's group CEO, and who was the founder of the credit union movement. First person here to answer those two questions. Constance has her hand, but she's not sure. Derek? No, you're incorrect. The name, the question, who was the founding member, the credit union movement in Jamaica, and name the current league group CEO. Patsy, you win something already, but then... Hold on. No. That's incorrect, Patsy. Yes, Mr. Cox. Robin Levy. What's the first name? The first name of Mr. Levy? All right, congratulations, Mr. Cox. So it is JP Sullivan, Patsy, not O'Sullivan. Father Sullivan. So come for your basket, Madam President. Can you please hand Mr. Cox his gift? And I am happy to see that it is one of our clients, one of our, partners who has won. Give Mr. Cox a round of applause, please. Your son will be excited for the cookies, yes. All right, so a lovely gift basket. And now for online persons, we still have a lot of people with us, Vera. Wow, 127 persons still with us. Give yourselves a round of applause, those of our online persons. Yes, excellent. Excellent. In 2019, we couldn't even, did we pass 50? Yeah, and we still have at the end, we still have 100 and odd persons there online. Excellent. So good things come forth from bad things. And this is also a two-part question for a $5,000 credit union voucher. And this person, you'll be able to use this voucher to open a new credit union account or to add to an existing account. A two-part question. Listen carefully, my online people. What does JCCUL mean? And there is a current advertising campaign going on with the credit union. Give me the tagline for that advertising campaign. So the first person, what's the meaning of JCCUL? And what's the current tagline for our current advertising campaign for the credit unions of Jamaica? First person to answer, and you'll be able to pick up your voucher at the credit union offices. No, you need to answer both. Second one was the tagline for the the credit unions of Jamaica advertising campaign that's going on now. It's heavily rotating out there on the air, on social media, on billboards. Nobody see it, nobody hear it. Nobody online getting it. No, man, it's two parts of $5,000. Or they're gonna have to share it. Nobody getting it, Vera? Giving you 1 more minute. No?
They say two.
No, that's not hard.
They're not seeing it on
and
television.
And the ad is out there. Yes. Too bad. Too bad. Somebody saying they don't listen to local radio. No. So what do I do? Do I give
that
it to
one is incorrect. It's not committed to serving you.
No. I'll give a hint. It has the word family in there.
The hint.
A
word
hint. It has the
family.
word family in there. Still no winner? What do I do? No, I don't want to change it. What's that?
So let's give it to the person who had the name of the league.
The person who. Somebody got it? What the person said?
No, committee to serve. They're using that.
No.
No. So let's tell you who got the name of the league first.
That means something with credit.
Samantha-
Clara, you have to talk to your people who are credit union members not here in the ad.
Right. Samantha with the iPhone.
Somebody got it. That is
Yes,
correct.
correct.
That is correct.
Maureen Wright
Maureen
Thomas.
Wright Thomas. Oh, perseverance wears down resistance. Thank you so much. So it is my credit union, my family. Look out for the billboards, people. They're out there and the ads are there. We're hearing them. And so, and JCCUL means Jamaica Cooperative Credit Union League. So congratulations to all our winners. Big round of applause. And it was my pleasure giving you some joy today. Okay, for those of you, everybody who registered, you will be getting, are these going out online certificates? Please request your CE hours if you so need them for various purposes, and it will be sent to you. So thank you so much. Your CE hours will be prepared for you at your request. I now hand over to the president to complete our proceedings.
For those who want the different credits, Digicel and Flow, please check your private chat for the numbers.
What a wonderful day. It has been a wonderful day. We started off early and we are done in reasonable time. So those of us who have things to do can go and have them done. Those who have legal things to do, non-illegal. At this time, could someone move, please, for the adjournment of the meeting? Name, please. Thank you. Mr. Barrington Hibbert, seconded by Ashani. Thank you very much. Again, thank you to all of those persons who made this credit union AGM possible. Those members of the credit union, non-members, workers, members of staff, our CEO and everybody else. Thank you. And Miss Vera and her team. IT team did very well. Thank you so much. So get home safely. Get home safely. There's no need now for you to be outside after hours. Remember, we're still in curfew. And please, those who are in-house, collect your bags. And lead us out in prayer. They're a prayerful person, not Patsy, she's not so prayerful.
And Lord, we thank you for this great union. We ask your blessings on each family represented here and those in Cyberland. Lord Jesus, you have been faithful to us. You have kept us as a people. And Lord Jesus, we wait on thee for your mercies, for your divine protection. Lord, we pray that 21 and beyond will be a fruitful year. Lord, we pray for the nurses of this nation. that the government will recognize them and that the negotiations will be successful. Lord, we thank you for your mercies. And we ask you, Lord, that as we leave from this place, you'll go with us. Lord, we pray for the leader of this organization. And we pray for the movement as a whole. And Lord, we pray for Jamaica, land we love. These mercies we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.